Stuka Joe here for a little, I don't know what to call it. Some people call it rant videos, philosophical videos. It's somewhere in between. It's about a specific theme. It's a new kind of video that this week, I decided I'm going to make, and I'm going to tell you why. Right now I do preview videos, mechanics at play videos, and that's all fine and dandy playthrough videos. Now, war games. There's so many out there. And people think that because some guy does a video on a war game, he's suddenly an expert on the war game. And I can tell you, and I think I've said it before, I'm an expert at nothing. And my playthrough videos so demonstrate that. I get comments, Joe, that strategy that you chose is screwed up, and you screwed up like 2 rules in between. So imagine just a second that you had to pay to watch my videos. What would you be paying for? Somebody screwing up the rules and giving you really crappy strategies. So I was thinking, is there a way that I can film a video, a playthrough, a game from start to finish, in a way that minimum or no rule screw-ups and solid gameplay in terms of strategy and commenting on strategy? Now, the quick answer is that I can't do it. Why? Because what I do is I get a game, read the rules, and do some kind of a video. If it's a playthrough, I play it, and all these playthroughs that you've seen, that's me playing the game most of the time for the first time, with very few exceptions. So you get that kind of low quality gameplay, screwing up rules, which is normal. When you play a game by yourself, you're going to screw up rules unless you're an expert or you've played the game 1,000 times. So I was thinking, how can I do a playthrough of a game without screwing up rules and do really wonderful moves in terms of strategy and maybe commenting on moves? And the question is, by doing a playthrough of a game that's already been played by someone else. Now, if you remember in the old days, the Avalon Hill General, there was a section in that magazine called Series Replay. And you had 2 people playing the game, and most of the time you had either the designer or the developer commenting on the quality of the moves of the play. And Avalon Hill was a kind of magazine that was more geared to the competitive nature of the hobby, how to beat your opponent, which for me is not why I play war games. I really don't care if I lose. I like the experience. I like enjoying the game from its mechanical viewpoint. But some people, I mean, that's a legitimate reason to play these games, is to compete also. Now, of course, in those days, if you were subscribed to the magazine, you could read the series replay. But if you didn't have the game to push the pieces around, your imagination had to fill a lot of gaps, you see? And for example, me, I didn't always have the game to push pieces around. I remember I pushed the pieces around for Turning Point Stalingrad. Don Greenwood was the commentator. I think it was a wonderful 2 articles. Well, the game was divided in 2 articles. But for many games, I didn't have the pieces. So I start reading and I start imagining, I don't know what the rules are, and start imagining how they're playing the game. So what I'm saying is that the written format has big limitations in terms of showing you how the game develops and flows. Unless, of course, you push the pieces around. But here's the thing, you don't always have the game to do that. And nowadays, it is customary for many publishing companies to include extended examples of play and to publish their rule books and playbooks before the game comes out. So you can read it, and for some people you can make your decision right there. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing here. But for a lot of people, you're going, I don't really know. I'd like to see how the pieces move, how they interact with each other and with the rules. So the thing is, the written format has its huge limitations. Now, let's talk about the video format. I've heard criticism about video format. I don't watch videos about war games because, first, you can't explain a rule book in a video because it would be too long. that's correct. And that, I don't think that's a good purpose for a video, is to explain the whole rule book, unless you're going to do a series of videos along the way, I mean, which is possible of doing. But a video shows you how the game plays, and it can show you that as if you had the game in front of you, you see? And you don't have to fill anything in with your imagination. So here is the kicker. Imagine an article like a series replay, and you're watching the game being played as in the series replay. The series replay becomes like the script for the game. And it's a series replay because we're playing the game again. It's been played already, and it's been played by people who know the game well. And here is where the playtesters come in. The playtesters are the thankless lot of the wargaming hobby. These are the people who have to put up with a lot of stuff that you never hear about, like changing rules, changing procedures. Let's test it again. And if you don't believe me, watch the interview that Kevin Sharp did of Tom Russell. It's a great interview. Tom tells you that he doesn't throw everything out there for the playtesters because he doesn't want to burn them. These are the people you have to give thanks when a good game comes out, the playtesters, because a game that was poorly playtested, it becomes pretty obvious, right? So here's where I think that we can do a marriage between the people who write scripts for war games, who are many people in BGG. If you go to BGG, there's a lot of series replays being done there. I mean, some people do it more very abstractly from the point of view of the story being told, which is fine. But other people tell you the moves step by step and show you photographs of situations on the map at certain points in time. But they give you the moves step by step. If you have the game, you can push the counters around. And they discuss strategy while they're doing it. But then, again, if you don't have the game, your imagination has to fill a lot of stuff. And but if you have a video of somebody following that script, you don't have to have the game in front of you. See? And the companies are not going to send you the game. Yeah, test the game. If you like it, keep the game and pay us. If not, they're not going to do that. I mean, that's impossible. So that's where the video format can really help. And I'm going to do one of those. And I just published 2 videos on The Great Game by Legion War Games. It's a card-driven game. So you know the card-driven games are usually not solo-friendly, right? I have a CDG solo method of playing games, and I haven't approached how I would play the game with the CDG solo method, and I may do that later. But the thing is, there's a gentleman, one of the playtesters of The Great Game, Richard Hecker. He already published a full playthrough of the game, all 6 turns. Each turn is a decade. And it's very well written. He explains the strategies. So I'm going to do one video, one episode per turn. And I'm just going to follow that script. The script's already done for me, you see? And hopefully you will get an idea not only of how the game plays in terms of rules, because you're going to see, procedures repeat themselves, but you're going to get an idea of sound strategies, of why things are done in a certain way, why the Russians play in a certain way, the British in another. And you're going to get a sense of what this game as a CDG brings to the table, because it has some new mechanics that I haven't seen in other CDGs. It has this face-off where each player selects a card and then you reveal it. The player with the card with a lower initiative goes first. I haven't seen that in other games. Maybe there are other CDGs out there. I'm not aware of them. And also, the cards. I mean, this game spans, what? From the 1830s to the 50 years. And you have cards that repeat themselves in the hand. So you have, for example, 6, what do you call them? Emissary cards. That doesn't happen in other CDG. In Paths of Glory, every card is different, right? So this game is less scripted, and it has some advantages when it's less scripted, right? Because you feel less restrained. But at the same time, it appears to deliver an experience close to the history of the period. Now, I'm not going to make any judgments on the particular game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot 6 videos, one for each turn, just following that script, and you be the judge. If the video is at least interesting in the sense that you're going to see the game played well, but not by me, of course, it's by Richard, and he played it solo, okay? And you're going to see the comments and why moves are made in a certain way. And I think that this may be a way, at least for me, of thanking the playtesters, because I'm a guilty party. If you see a lot of my playthrough videos, I put the credits, and most of the times I leave the playtesters out, but I'm not going to do that anymore. Okay, I promise. I'm going to put the playtesters in, but some games you have like 20 playtesters, so it's going to be in fine print, but you're going to be there. Just pause your name, you pause the video, your name's going to be there. So I think this is a perfect marriage between the video guy like me, who's an expert at nothing but screwing up rules and, you know, playing game for the first time, and somebody like a playtester who knows the game very well, but he just displayed or summarized it in the written format, which by itself has those limitations. So I think it's a perfect combination to follow for other games. And I think it's unfair that games are judged sometimes by the first play. Because this is not a movie. You see, I can go to see a movie and I can tell you, like a critic, if it's good acting or not, because the movie doesn't change. But games change. And sometimes our perception of the game is flawed because of our mismanagement of the rules, our lack of understanding of how the mechanics in the game are intertwined and stuff like that, that you only get when you play a game more than once. If not, try a coin game once. The first time's going to be hard, but everybody who plays the coin games just loves them, right? And I'm guilty. I haven't played seriously one yet, and I want to do it. So I think judging a game by just one play is not very fair. I mean, these games go under a lot of scrutiny, and we have history to scrutinize the games too. So, but on the other hand, these games are so rich in history and so rich in recreating history that I think a replay by someone of a game that was played through sound strategy and without screwing up the rules will really give you an idea of what the game's about and if it's for you or not for you. Okay, so that's going to be a video that I'll be publishing. I'm going to be shooting that video within the next 2 months. So, no, not 2 months, 2 weeks. It's not coming out in 2 weeks, but maybe you'll see it every 2 days. You'll see an episode because I'm going to also throw out there some more preview videos and stuff like that. And you tell me, even if you don't like the subject matter, but the concept. And I would love to know what playtesters have to say. And if in this way, playtesters are encouraged to document their games when they play them in that way so that someone like me can film them, I'm more than happy. Because for me, as a gamer, forget about the video. When I play the games, I just play them and you see them. But I don't mind at all playing a game that somebody else played if I can enjoy the experience of the strategy behind the game. And sometimes even the playtester will throw out designer notes. You know, the designer decided to do this because of a particular reason, and it becomes obvious when you see a game well played. So that's my goal now. And I'm going to call it, since Avalon Hill's not around, the Stuka Joe Series Replay. You know, they're not around anymore, so I think I can borrow that name. And you know what Series Replay is. So it's a game played before, which I'm going to document. So I hope you're interested in the concept, and tell me what you think, okay? So this is Stuka Joe signing off for now. Thanks for watching.